for the president. Some lawmakers are demanding amendment or use of the 25th Amendment. And ABC News has learned tonight that even some Republicans in Key Circle have discussed this. Though with 13 days left of the administration, it is very not what else is still possible after what this country witnessed in the last 24 hours. Tonight, here a clearer picture of what played out at the Capitol, and it's no easier to digest. It was not long after the president told his supporters on the Capitol, "I'll march with you." The first barricades were pushed out of the way. Officers clearly outnumbered, fueled by the president's words, swarming the Capitol grounds. There were so many images of those who broke through doors and windows, climbing up the walls of the Capitol, crawling through windows, pushing those doors and right past metal detectors and what was left of security, trying to keep them from reaching floors, clashes on the stairs. Another group of rioters, two for this lone officer who turned around and up the stairs. Those chilling images of armed guards in plain clothes protecting the House chamber, guns drawn, frightened lawmakers told to shelter and to keep their gas masks right at their sides. The siege went on for you could see the police flash deployed at the Capitol to push them all back. Tonight, ABC News has learned initial requests to call in the National Guard as this was all unfolding, and that it wasn't until several White House officials intervened, quote, for the sake of that troops then headed to Capitol Hill. And once the Capitol was cleared, Congress then went on to certify the electoral presiding, declaring Joe Biden America's 46th president. Here, the fallout and of course the serious questions, so many still unanswered. We're going to carefully guide you through it all, beginning with our chief White House correspondent, Carl.
We're coming for you! The supporters swarmed the Capitol building, President Trump House, watching it all unfold on television. ABC News has learned that the mayor of Washington called the Pentagon plea. Desperate, she then reached out to President's advisors. At the same time, congressional leaders made the request to Vice President Mike Pence. His supporters even as he told them to go home.
So go home. We love you. You're very special.
White House released a very different message.
The demonstrators who have defiled the seat of American democracy. To those who engaged in the acts of violence and destruction, you do not represent. And to those who broke, you will pay.
It came as Democrats called on Vice President Pence to invoke the 25th Amendment to remove the president of his cabinet because he is mentally unfit.
And by inciting sedition, as he did yesterday, be removed from office. While there are 13 days left, any day can be a horror show for America.
If that doesn't happen, Democrats say he should be impeached. Some Republicans in Congress are privately discussing as well, to multiple Republican sources. Members of the president's cabinet have had detailed conversations about the 25th Amendment, according to sources familiar with the though it is considered unlikely to happen. Today, former Chief John Kelly said he would vote to remove his boss.
I think the cabinet should meet in this. What happened is a direct result of his poisoning.
Today, cabinet official resigned. Transportation Secretary Elaine Chao, wife of Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. She said, quote, deeply troubled me in a way that simply cannot set aside. Former Trump administration placed blame squarely on President Trump. Former Attorney General Bill Barr, a staunch Trump loyalist, in office 2 weeks ago, said, quote, orchestrating a mob to pressure Congress is inexcusable. The president's conduct was a betrayal of his office and his supporters. Scathing words from former Defense Secretary Jim Mattis, who said after Joe Biden is inaugurated on January, quote, Mr. Trump will deservedly be a man without a country. There's also been a reckoning among Trump loyalists in Congress. Going Kelly Loeffler had planned to object to Biden's electoral, but changed her mind after the Capitol riot.
There can be no disagreement that upholding democracy is the only path to the republic. I yield the floor.
As the Senate applauded her decision to abandon the president, so did Vice Pence. Still, more than half of House Republicans voted to overturn the election, and so did a handful of Republican senators, including and Josh Hawley, who was seen with Trump supporters shortly before they stormed the Capitol. Today, other Republicans called their actions shameful.
You have political advantage were giving as insurrectionists literally stormed the Capitol. We're sending out fundraising emails.
Carl with us live from the White House again tonight. John, as we know, a lot of eyes focused not only on President Trump, Vice President Mike Pence now. We saw that moment when he re-entered the chamber last night, John. He asked for that moment to address Republicans and his words condemning the violence. There was a pause long before the president taking place at the U.S. Capitol must stop, and it must stop. The president, the vice president together so often over the course of these many years, and never have we witnessed two of them.
David, there's been nobody more loyal to Donald Trump than Mike Pence. But today, Vice House all day. He remained at the Vice Presidential Naval Observatory, and I am told just recently, David, that even to this moment, the Vice President has not seen the President since all that went down yesterday at the Capitol. Really quite remarkable. And by the way, I'm also told that the President has told advisors that he would like to issue himself a pardon for himself. Now, while we know the President can pardon anybody, it is far from clear whether or not he himself.
That would be another test that we have not seen yet. John, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.